afternoon. Welcome to today's ceremony, where we will honor the class of 2015 graduates. I am Lisa McLean, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs and Career Development. It is my pleasure to preside over the medical school's 147th commencement ceremony. We are delighted to have you here. We begin with a welcome from Governor Gary Pollard, Chair of the Wayne State University Board of Governors. Governor Pollard.
Thank you. On behalf of the Board of Governors, it is my pleasure to welcome all the graduates of the School of Medicine's class of 2015. Congratulations, doctors. You have worked hard to achieve your goals, and you should be proud, as we are, of what you have accomplished. Wayne State University is an outstanding institution, and today you join almost 250,000 alumni who call our university their alma mater. Our vibrant, growing campus is a tribute to our students and the faith that we have in your ability to succeed. Your presence here this afternoon demonstrates that much can be accomplished if you are committed to a goal and pursue it with passion and diligence. On the occasion of his inauguration, Nelson Mandela remarked, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are all powerful beyond measure." While such power can be immensely flattering, it can also be overwhelming. For with great power comes great responsibility. But we know you are up to the task. The medical profession provides unending opportunities to share your talents and gifts with others. I hope you look forward to this aspect of your profession and will give support, guidance, knowledge, and care to your patients. We will rely on you to do so, and we all know you will answer that challenge. I would like to take a moment now to introduce members of the board who are with us this afternoon. Joining me are Governor Marilyn Kelly. Please stand. Governor Sandra Hughes O'Brien. And Governor Dana Thompson. Congratulations from the Board of Governors and the entire Wayne State University community, and our deepest and best wishes to you for your success. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Pollard. I would like to introduce other important members of our university community who took time from their busy schedules to celebrate with us. Will the members of the President's Cabinet please stand and be recognized? Several years ago, the School of Medicine established a board of visitors. These distinguished members of the metropolitan community provide invaluable counsel and promote communication between the medical school and the citizens of southeastern Michigan. Members of the board of visitors that are in attendance, please rise and be acknowledged. I would also like to introduce the Council of Deans at the medical school. Will all members of the council please rise and be recognized? At this time, I would also like to introduce the departmental chairpersons at the School of Medicine. Chairpersons, please rise. Also, let us not forget the members of our faculty who have supported our students over the years. Will the faculty please rise and be acknowledged? It is now my pleasure to introduce the 12th president of Wayne State University, Dr. M. Roy Wilson. President Wilson.
Thank you, Dr. McLean. Good afternoon, everyone. You know, as we were walking down, I couldn't help but notice that family and friends clearly outnumber our graduates, and most of you have made great strides to make sure that our graduates pursue this most noble of callings. Therefore, I'd like to recognize and thank you for the patience, guidance, and encouragement you have provided these newly minted MDs. And yes, Mom and Dad, you can now officially tell all your friends that your son or daughter is a doctor. And students, congratulations. I am proud to call you graduates of the Wayne State University School of Medicine's class of 2014, and I am honored as well to call you colleagues. You know, it's been 35 years since I sat in your seat, ready to embark on a career in medicine. Thanks to medical school, I've had a front row seat to a remarkable period of scientific discovery. In just 3 decades, I have seen advancements in computational power, robotics, and imaging, forever changing how medicine is practiced. Yet, some things don't change. There are universal truths that remain a constant. And I'm reminded of that time when I was in your seats, of something that one of my professors told me many years ago. And I didn't quite appreciate what he meant, but I've come to appreciate it over the years. He said, "Roy, be good to medicine, and medicine will be good to you." I wasn't quite sure what he meant at that time. I thought it was probably something like, you practice good medicine and you'll be financially rewarded. And although that's probably true to a certain extent, it's actually much, much more than that. What he really meant is respect medicine, commit to your field, work hard, and always, always, always act in the best interest of your patients. And if you do that, personal fulfillment that very few people in other professions ever experience will be yours. This fulfillment is deep, it's rare, and it will sustain you through the peaks and valleys of your career in medicine. The technological advances you will experience in the next 35 years will be far greater than of the past 35 years. Some of these advances will pose daunting ethical dilemmas, both for the field and for you personally. So the advice that I received 35 years ago is as relevant now as ever before. So graduates, remember, be good to medicine, and I assure you, medicine will be good to you. Again, heartfelt congratulations to all, and have a great day.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. Our next speaker is Dr. Jack D. Sobel, the Interim Dean of the Wayne State University School of Medicine, a longtime member of the faculty with extensive experience in both clinical practice and medical administration. Dr. Sobel is a widely published and strongly funded physician researcher in the area of infectious disease. The chief of the Division of Research in the Internal Medicine Department, Dr. Sobel also is a professor of immunology and microbiology and of obstetrics and gynecology. Dr. Sobel.
Thank you, Dr. McLean. Good afternoon, everyone. First, let me welcome the families and the friends who are here today to celebrate this milestone with our graduates. These young people would not have succeeded without your nurturing support. To the class of 2015, on behalf of the faculty and the administration, our heartfelt congratulations. This is a day for celebration, and President Wilson, the Board of Governors, and our faculty and I celebrate with you. We know how hard you have worked to be able to walk across the stage. Counting your undergraduate studies, you have endured 8 or more long years of struggle and study to be here today. During the last 4 years, someone has always been nearby to monitor your actions, to guide you, and yes, to make certain you didn't unintentionally harm anyone. In your upcoming residencies, someone will still be there to watch over you, but you will soon mature into superior clinicians with the Wayne State University brand for the rest of your lives. Remember that few occupations afford you the opportunities to achieve career and virtually daily fulfillment in your practice of medicine. We have taught you much, but one principal tenet that our faculty and your experience at Wayne should have been embedded in your mind and in your hearts is that of the doctor-patient relationship, which is the very crux of medicine. I should have said patient-doctor relationship rather than the traditional doctor-patient, because it is the patient who is the center of your life now. You must preserve both your passion for medicine and your compassion for patients so that you continue sharing both for a lifetime. We have trained you well, but your training is not complete. If we have done our jobs well, and I believe we have, you should realize that your education is not yet complete. In fact, your education is lifelong. Your medical education is a lifetime pursuit. Remember, too, that your degree, your license, is an international passport. Few alternative occupations offer you this unique opportunity to be international healers. There still are challenges in medicine. In spite of the technological advances, there will always be challenges, but you are up to it. And for this, I congratulate you. Thank you, and let's keep going.
Thank you, Dr. Sobel. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Lawrence Blady of the Wayne State University School of Medicine Alumni Association. Dr. Blady specializes in physical medicine and rehabilitation and is a 1986 graduate of the School of Medicine. He will extend his congratulations from the alumni to this year's class. Dr. Blady.
Thank you, Dr. McLean. I am Dr. Lawrence Blady, class of 1986, and I am the new president of the Wayne State University School of Medicine Alumni Association. As you know, physicians are highly respected professionals in our community. When we decided to become physicians, we signed up for leadership responsibilities that should never be forgotten. As Wayne State University School of Medicine physicians, we are known for our high level of community involvement. The School of Medicine, through its faculty, provides for a substantial portion of the health care for the medically underserved, which ultimately strengthens our community. And now, you are a part of that. As you look back over the last 4 years, you've had glimpses of what it's like to be a Wayne State physician. When you think back to your freshman orientation and remember how you were in those first few weeks and compare that to how you are today, you realize how much you have grown and matured on your journey to becoming a physician. Today, after countless hours of studying and hard work, your dreams become a reality. Throughout your years as a student at the medical school, Wayne State University School of Medicine alumni have supported you in many of your efforts to reach out to the community, both here in Detroit and around the world. As graduates of the School of Medicine, it is now your turn to be there. For the next generation of students, providing counsel, support, and guidance as they progress through their medical education. So on behalf of our more than 18,000 living alumni across the country, we wish you much success, welcome you as colleagues, and look forward to a long and productive relationship as we all work together with the School of Medicine to make our world a better place. Congratulations, you've earned it.
A distinguished citizen has been recommended by the faculties of the university for an honorary degree. President Wilson.
With the Honorable Gary Pollard, Chair of the Board, please join me at the podium to confer the honorary degree. With the Honorable Dana Thompson and the Honorable Sandra Hughes O'Brien, please escort Ms. Mary Woolley to the podium. Wayne State University awards the Doctor of Laws honoris causa to you, Mary Woolley, for your commitment to advancing medical research throughout the nation. You serve as president and CEO of Research America, the nation's largest nonprofit public education and advocacy alliance committed to making health and medical research a higher national priority. Since coming to Research America in 1990, your dedication has earned the organization the attention and respect of elected officials, researchers, community leaders, and the media for its record of innovation and research advocacy. Early in your career, you served as San Francisco project director for what was then the largest ever NIH-funded clinical trial, the multiple risk factor intervention trial. A tireless champion for medical research, you have a 30-year editorial and publication history on science advocacy and research-related topics. Your commentary has been featured in publications across the country, including New York Times and Washington Post. You have been published in top research journals, including Issues in Science and Technology, the New England Journal of Medicine, and the Journal of the American Medical Association, among many others. You are also a sought-after speaker, frequently interviewed by science, news, and policy journals, and have been recognized as an unsung heroine by PBS. You are a founding member of the Whitehead Institute for Biomedical Researchers Board of Associates and a member of the board of the Institute of Systems Biology, the visiting committee of the University of Chicago Medical Center, and the National Council for Johns Hopkins Nursing. You have served as president of the Association of Independent Research Institutes. You are an elected member of the Institute of Medicine, one of the highest honors in the field of medicine, and served on its governing board. You are a fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science and a member of the National Academy's Board on Life Sciences. You have been recognized for your work on behalf of medical research with many awards, including a Women of Vision Award from the American Committee for the Weizmann Institute of Science and the American Hospital Association's Silver Touchstone Award for Public Affairs Programming, among many others. In recognition of your commitment to advancing medical research, Wayne State University proudly bestows on you, Mary Woolley, the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Governor Pollard, as president of Wayne State University, and on behalf of the faculty, I am pleased to present Mary Woolley for the conferral of the degree.
Yes. By the authority of the people of the state of Michigan, as vested in the Wayne State University Board of Governors, we are proud to confer upon you, Mary Woolley, the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and with this hood and diploma admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of that degree.
Distinguished governors, faculty, President Wilson, leadership of this fine university, and graduates, you can tell this is an emotional moment. I am deeply, deeply honored. I have had the privilege in my career to serve research and to serve medicine and health by being an advocate. And I can tell you that being an advocate makes it possible to wake up every day and get to work. As you pursue your degrees, your careers, distinguished graduates, I urge you to never forget the importance of advocacy. Advocacy, of course, for your patients. Advocacy for research, the future of health. And advocacy for what you know is right and good, because that's the only way that we'll get there. Thank you.
Congratulations again. I would now like to introduce our esteemed commencement speaker. Dr. Valerie Parisi served as the 15th Dean of the Wayne State University School of Medicine. In addition to leading the medical school for the last 6 years, she is a national leader in medical education and in the evaluation and certification of physicians. She served from 2010 to 2012 as co-chair of the Liaison Committee for Medical Education, which accredits medical schools in the United States and Canada, and as secretary-treasurer of the American Board of Medical Specialties from 2009 to 2012. She is also the current chair of the American Board of Medical Specialties. Dr. Parisi.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everybody. What a great day this is. I want to add my congratulations to the class of 2015 and congratulations from me to all the parents, siblings, partners, spouses, and friends of the class of 2015. I salute you. I had the honor to meet a BFF of one of the graduates last night at dinner, and if you're all like she is, boy, there are some great BFFs out there. This is always my favorite day of the year, and you've heard me say that before, followed closely by the white coat ceremony. But particularly today, when I have the distinct honor of being chosen by you as the commencement speaker. For over 30 years as a faculty member, a department chair, and a dean, the education and nurturing of medical students has been my first priority. So I am deeply grateful for your invitation. I also wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for the unique gift presented to me last night by Matt Falcomitz and Osamide from your class and Julie Weber from 2016. So thank you. The signed edition for the parents and others. I received a signed first edition from 1904 of Sir Dr. William Osler's Science and Immortality Ingersoll Lecture. It's a unique and a very special gift that I will always treasure. So I'm sure that you all in this room, especially the people sitting behind me, have heard a few graduation talks. Some of us have heard many, and yet all of us have forgotten every single one of them. So because of that, what they did was stand between us and the true purpose of today, which is about you, our graduates, and conferring the MD degree and welcoming you into the venerable profession of medicine. So today, I have only one message to deliver, and I want to speak directly to the class of 2015 from my heart for the last time. As you venture out to practice medicine, please remember that medicine is a healing profession, not a curing profession. And what do I mean by that? As students, you have given mightily of your talents and your time to provide much-needed care for the least advantaged among us, and you are a true blessing to our city and our region. Please never lose those special qualities that we saw in you when we recruited you and which we tried hard to help blossom further in you during these last 4 years. Please keep those qualities up front in everything you do, even when you get overwhelmed with the newness of certain technologies, and as you hone those technical skills in your residencies. While I'm leaving for a new position with a university in another state, I will always take pride in this School of Medicine and hold it dear, for it is truly a special institution because of its mission. And its mission has you at its center. During your years with us, you've walked past that gleaming, most of the time gleaming white statue of Hippocrates in front of Scott Hall. The father of medicine wrote of practicing medicine that life is short, but the art is long. These words of wisdom so deftly describe life as a physician. A lifetime is not long enough to fully embrace and understand all that it means to care for others. Among his other truisms, Hippocrates also wrote, "Wherever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love of humanity." And that is what I want to talk about today. Medicine is an art based on science. We can test and scan and irradiate and operate. We have an ever-growing arsenal of technology from which to draw to diagnose and treat disease. But that's not all that you have at your disposal. As physicians, you are beginning a formidable lifetime challenge, not just in terms of knowledge and skills, but also in relationships. And the one constant in medicine is change. In technology, in regulation, in healthcare financing, in environmental health hazards, in emerging infectious diseases. If we let our physician facade down just here amongst ourselves for a moment, we have to admit that the prospect of dealing with this constant change can be frightening and overwhelming. The science will evolve as it always does based on evidence, thank goodness. Current therapies will be modified and new treatments developed. Yet one constant will remain throughout your life as a healer, and that is the challenge of how you personally interact with those in your care. So take home point number one. People do not exist in a vacuum in an examination room. They're part of a family. That family exists within a particular culture, and that culture within a larger population environment. You must be both knowledgeable and sensitive, or all your technology won't heal anybody. Not too long ago, I'm sure you saw it, JAMA published an essay by a senior physician who described a morning when a female patient with scleroderma was in her bed in an intensive care unit because her condition seriously affected her heart. As he stood next to his sister-in-law's bed, he watched as a group of residents, shepherded by an attending physician, entered the room. The group congregated at her bed, read her chart, consulted amongst themselves, and left. Not one of them spoke to the patient, or her physician brother-in-law, or any other relative seated at the bedside. The author wrote, "Unfortunately, the rounds that I observed this day was merely a review of laboratory and radiographic images that, coupled with the wisdom of textbooks and the obligatory revelations of the most current journal article, attempted to confirm the diagnosis of the patient in bed 4. She was irrelevant. Her disease was not. While she was receiving the best technical care in the world, the individual that she was seemed forgotten, her personhood tossed to the side in lieu of the intricacies of pathophysiology." This physician witnessed this routine several times during the week before his sister-in-law died. She no longer needed technical expertise. Her disease and its possible cure were no longer relevant. but she certainly was, or should have been to her physicians. So take home point number 2. Medicine is not about only curing disease. It is about healing hearts and minds and spirits. And please don't shy away from this part of your profession. And we know that becoming a physician requires proof of your cognitive skills. I mention this because becoming a Wayne State University trained physician requires something more: compassion, a sense of community mindedness and leadership. And it's that something more that you all have that is the hallmark of Wayne State University medical graduates. And it's the quality that's the driving force behind your passion. I've seen this firsthand here over my 8 years, and it's why this is such an important medical school to the country. You must hold on to that passion which you have developed and nurtured, because it's so very special and so very much needed today in medicine. And I issue this warning to you because circumstances and people will try to steal your humanity. Paperwork, routine, bureaucracy will all stake claims on your time. And as you graduate from medical student to resident physician, you take on the full responsibility for patient care. You're it. No more turning around to say, what are we going to do about X at 3 o'clock in the morning? You want to use your new knowledge to diagnose, treat, and cure. You'll be busy. You'll be overwhelmed. You'll be exhausted. You'll reach a point where you feel that you just don't have the time, energy, or emotion left to offer any more of yourself at the end of a long day. Take home point number 3. Do it anyway. You must, or your profession will become merely a job, and we will relegate all of the patients in our care to the same sort of treatment that the patient in that JAMA article got. The disease was relevant, the patient was not. You cannot do that. My last directive to you as former dean. Whatever burdens you may feel on your worst day will pale in comparison to the apprehension and fear your patient feels. When your patient comes to your exam room or is brought into your emergency room, operating room, or chemotherapy infusion center, she will be seeking medical treatment for herself or perhaps her child. The science and technology in your arsenal that day will either work or it won't. But you have something more to offer to people when the news is even the worst. Offer yourself. That's when your job really begins. This is a very special calling, and with this comes the responsibility to provide more than science. There's a day in your future when you will have to deliver the worst news your patient will ever hear. That's the time to remember that first, you're a human being. Second, you're a healer. And the technical wizards of cure is a distant third. Patients need your support. They need your sincerity. They need your humanity and your sensitivity to their specific world. Always remember, there are no rules stipulating that doctors must be emotionless dispensers of health care and information. It's in medicine that we see our brothers and sisters at their most human, scared and weak and vulnerable, seeking comfort and hope. When you've tried every weapon in your arsenal to no avail, this is the time to be most human with patients. And it's when you're most needed and most appreciated. Medicine without your compassion and humanity is simply science. And true medicine demands that it be practiced with compassion and humanity. And to just illustrate this, take home point number 4. Let me tell you a story about my husband, which I try to do at every graduation, and God bless him, he's sitting outside, and he said, "Go ahead, Valerie, tell him everything, it's okay." He's a good soul. We went to spend Christmas and some time with our new baby grandchildren in Texas this year, and Gary became very ill over Christmas. I didn't know what was wrong with him. Nobody knew what was wrong with him, and you know the way it is at Christmas. You can barely find anybody to talk to in a health-related field. We ended up through a long series of events at UT Southwestern in Dallas, right near where our grandchildren are. And how did we end up there? Because the father of a third-year medical student who I happened to deliver 26 years ago runs the health system there, and he got us into care. And Gary had a series of specialists and subspecialists and residents and fellows and medical students traipsing through his room, doing a little bit of the consulting, the computer and the charts and the books and everything else, and not so much of the consulting with Gary, and trying to figure out what was wrong with him. And finally, after he was cured and healed, after 3 surgeries, and some very keen diagnosis and some very keen surgical skills, for which I was very impressed and very grateful for the talent of the physicians we had caring for him. I said to Gary as he was recuperating, "What worried you the most? Which day, which thing that you had to have done to you?" He said, "No, that really wasn't it." He said, "I really cared for all the physicians. Everybody was great and they were really smart." He said, "But the person who stood out to me the most was my medical student, Abby." So he knew her name. He said, because every day when I didn't know what was going on, and when one physician said I was 12 hours from death, Abby was the one who allayed my fears. Abby was the one that I made the relationship with. Abby was the one that I could talk to. And it really stunned me. And then I thought, well, why is this stunning me? I've been the dean at Wayne State Medical School for 6 years. Why does this stun me? I watch 300 phenomenal medical students come by every year who do exactly this thing. So you have that as medical students. It is at its highest point. Do not let your zeal for cure, now that you have technology and now that you will go and do your residencies, do not let what will happen to you there take away what you learned and developed here and your humanity with patients. And remember the story of my husband who said, take home point number 4, it was the medical student who was most important to me when I was most ill. Practicing medicine with humanity can be challenging in the face of the day-to-day routine that unwittingly works to squeeze out the human art of medicine. But don't wall off your compassion or the spirit with which you entered Wayne State. If you do, it will become easier each time until your patients become nothing more than electronic records to be managed or diseases to be treated instead of people to be heard, and your beloved profession will quickly become shift work. Because compassion cannot be faked. Your patient knows when you're sincere, and your patient will likely not remember the science you employ. She won't remember the technology, but she'll remember how you sat down and looked in her eyes and listened to her, or how you held your hand in comfort or in shared grief, and how you treated her and her family instead of just the computer screen in the room. And remember you as someone who eased her apprehension by sharing your humanity. And I know that that's true because I saw it firsthand. This is what we need in medicine, and I charge you today to share yourselves, your humanity, as you embark upon your life in medicine. As you graduate today, you go with my sincerest wishes for a successful and fulfilling career and life. I salute your academic success, and I wish you a long and compassionate service to humanity. As we leave together, as a matter of fact, one of you is coming to the institution that I'm going to, and as we leave this very special School of Medicine together for new phases in our careers, please know how deeply grateful I am to you for allowing me the privilege to have been your dean and the honor to have dressed you on this glorious day. God bless you all.
Thank you, Dr. Parisi, for your inspiring remarks on this very special occasion. We very much appreciate your joining us in celebration of the accomplishments of our graduating students. We will now perform the ceremonial hooding and confer the degrees of the graduates of the class of 2015 of the Wayne State University School of Medicine. The hood is part of the academic regalia that was originally designed as a head covering to keep heads warm in cold, unheated buildings. It dates back to the medieval times of some of the oldest universities in the world. Today's hoods are the most expressive part of the academic regalia. They not only indicate the field of study, which has been completed, but the degree and the institution's colors. The hood, with green velvet running along a black background, represents the academic color of medicine, and the yellow and green silk represent Wayne State University. I will begin by reading the names of the candidates. Dr. Mary Jean Shank, Vice Dean of Medical Education, and Dr. Sheila Ray, past president of the Medical Alumni Association, will hood the graduates, and President Wilson and Dean Sobel will congratulate the graduates. Matthew Falkowitz, President, Class of 2015. Alexander Lee, Vice President, Class of 2015. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Ambika Mather, Dean of the Graduate School, who will congratulate the combined MD, PhD graduates. Eric Brown. Nicholas Michelle. Jesse Veenstra. I will now introduce our dentistry students who will graduate with their medical degree. Kyle Kloster. James Mueller II. John Nasaba. Catherine Borwald. And now for the remaining class of 2015. Nuaj Abdullah. Michael Adams. Salim Ahmed. Umair Ahmed. Alexandru Alexa. Stephen Amatangelo. Jonathan Arcobello. Patrick Atisha. Lindsay Aurora. Natalie Bear. Stephanie Baum. Renee Bayer. James Bazzi. Abigail Beauchamp. Takako Ben. David Bergman. Ashley Berry. Bhavna Baya. Jacob Blair. Felix Bauscher. Farshid Borzognia. Samantha Bruni. Sarah Bugash. Marie Burke. Erica Call. Sal Callow. Brett Can. Justin Carroll. Vectra Kassler. Sarah Kavanaugh. Bayan Shaker. Melissa Chamberlain. Carolyn Chan. Sarah Chan. Joseph Chang. Willis Chang. Kara Charnogursky. Anna Chase. Cynthia Chen. Rusika Chapuri. Dennis Tway. Yongki Chung. Dennis Churchill II. Najla Clark. Rachel Fuller Kleberg. David Coleman. Lauren Cook. Christopher Croswell. Umair Daimi. Sarah Daniel. Tanuka Datta. John David. Tiffany DeHunt. Michael DeVisser. John DeVries. Benjamin Dion. Christopher Dion. Melissa Drury. Tyler Drury. Oliver Duchuk. Michelle Alhasni. Sarah Ellerbrock. Alexander Ernst. Grace Escamilla. Musab Itir. Jeremy Farida. Samin Farouk. Catherine Furlick. Chelsea Fortin. Megan Franzo Romaine. Jillian Frieder. Vincent Gakad. Payal Gangbadai. Zoya Gavrelman. Ida Gurma. Sarah Gleason. Eric Goldstein. Mark Gorleski. Sarah Gorgas. Arjan Gouda. Eric Granowitz. Justin Gray. Alexander Greenstein. Elise Gross. Priya Gulati. Deep Shika Gupta. Mesa Hamidi. Cameron Heilbronn. Alicia Hogan. Homer Hadjat. Brian Hollett. Ella Hong. Samuel Happy. Jenny Huang. Faria Hussein. Sharon Im. Rami Imam. Hussein Isa. Osamude Iyoha. Sandeep Jawani. I feel like I have to say that again. Sandeep Jawani. Alan Carrado. Basil Kadi. Joseph Karpinski. Michelle Kasprick. Melissa Coleman Kawa. Jeffrey Keeps. Annie Kahn. Olka Kara. Youngwoo Kim. Logan Kinch. Eleanor King. Carl Kirschke. Bianca Jadu Kizzy. Shu Ting Kung. Andrew Cure. Timothy Quishan. Corey Lake. Nicholas Lannon. Jason Loffman. Jamie Lawrencell. Kelsey Lawrence. Stephanie Lazar. Dewan Lee. Tiffany Lee. Hannah Leach. Sarah Lieblein. Albert Ma. Thomas Mottman. Muhammad Mackey. Shalini Makawita. Davin Mangold. Dushant Mann. Brandon Mansour. Kyle Markle. John Matheson. Peter McCann. Jennifer McCaskill. Leslie McDonough. Joshua McAmey. Sana Morani. Scott Merriman. Nicole Messenger. Kyle Militic. Lindsay Miller. Mia Miller. Emily Merkin. Alexi Michelin. Melinda Mitchell. Patrick Moen. Adnan Mohammed. Joy Moore. Ryan Morton. Woo, Ryan. Marianne Musegian. Michelle Mulder. Mary Raymond Mullins. Ryan Munsell. Wasim Nasir. Alyssa Neff. David Nguyen. Hugh Nguyen. Mary Nixon. Eric Nowicki. David Oberlin. Jasmine Omar. Kevin Onofree. Jeffrey Osgood II. Michelle O. Young. Daniel Overbeek. Eric Owashi. Tina Azbeki. Miranda Paulcutter. Eleni Papalakis. Amanda Paquette. Jean Park. Matel Patel. Nisha Patel. Michael Perry. Ashley Porter. Jacob Price. Anthony Provenzano. Andrew Prusak. Sujatha Putatunda. David Raban. Vindhya Raghavan. Harinder Rai. Ilya Rakitin. Anupama Rambatla. Nicholas Robel. Richard Roberts. Lauren Robinson. Ashish Rangta. Sarah Russell. Hannon Sad. Sagir Sabir. Omar Sadiq. Mona Saini. Tassia Makani Simona. Devin Schlund. Bryce Schubach. Justin Schubach. Andrew Schwartz. Scott Schwartz. Michael Scott. Elizabeth Shaheen. Matthew Shaheen. Philip Shaheen. Mikhail Shatayville. Mansoor Siddiqui. Ethan Silverman. Maria Simsina. Michelle Simonite. David Michael Smingy. Elizabeth Smith. Reed Smith. Ali Sob. Michael Song. Victoria Stahl. Cletus Stanton. Aaron Stubbs. Andrew Swartz. Christopher Tsai. Victor Cito. Alexander Tapper. Domenico Terenzi. Katrina Thompson. Esagenet Tazazu. Regina Itup Tamasham. Lauren Uroda. Amy Vandenberg. Caleb Vanderveen. Andrew Vasilyuk. Kara Wackerly. Robert Wall. Amanda Waterman. Kristen Weber. Stephen Weindorf. Maya Weitzer. Corey Warnemont. Craig White. Alec Wilson. Delon Wilson. Kelly Wilt. Jonathan Wong. Derek Wood. Andrew Warden. Maria Yaldo. David Janashik. Victoria Yee. Ashley Yenner. Sanar Yokana. Russell Iskis. Maria Zakyudin. Omar Zaman. Mark Zakai. Thomas Zervos. Jane Zhang. President Wilson will now confer the degrees. President Wilson and Interim Dean Sobel, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the degree Doctor of Medicine. Candidates. Candidates of the class of 2015, please rise.
The authority to confer each of these degrees is vested by the people of the state of Michigan under the Constitution of the state, in the Board of Governors of Wayne State University, and by the Board of Governors, it is delegated to me. Each of these degrees is granted upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine. I am proud to confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Medicine for which the faculty has recommended you, and I admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of that degree. Congratulations, doctors. Will you please be seated? Congratulations.
And honors have been conferred. I would now like to introduce to you Dr. Matthew Falkowitz.
Thank you. 2015! First off, I'd like to welcome all the friends, the family, the faculty, and the administration to this glorious day. where almost 300 people have just become the new face of medicine for the future. I'm not sure quite what stars aligned to allow me to be in this position up here right now, but I'm really happy that they did, and I'm truly honored to be addressing all of you guys today. Now that I am officially a physician, I can only guarantee one thing, that I'm still as clueless today as I was yesterday. I am not, and most likely will never be, a specialist in any specific field of medicine. But one thing I do know is that this class of 2015 is going to do big things in the future. You know, I've thought a lot about why I am here, and also why all the 300 students in front of me, and now physicians, are sitting here as well, at this specific medical school. This reflective process has been quite a journey over these past few years, so I'd like to just share a little bit of that journey with you today. You know, I've thought a lot about what is the point of medical school? Why are we here? Is it to learn the mechanisms of chronic conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, all those things that we've read about? Is it to learn the algorithms of treatment, step-by-step processes? Or is it to learn how to be really comfortable in uncomfortable situations? To become confident in yourself and show that you can conquer tasks that seem daunting or even impossible at the time. I'm sure it's actually a mix of all of these. But to go from early third-year students not really knowing what the heck is going on, to fourth-year students more confident, managing patients on inpatient medicine, I think this is the best thing that Wayne State has been able to give us, is that confidence. I heard this saying a little while back that kind of stuck with me. The education is what is done to you, but learning is what you do to yourself. At the most recent Wayne State alumni reunion, I was listening to faculty talk about their journeys to illustrious institutions, their journeys onto national committee boards, and also their other successes like research and publications. But it always ended with the same theme, that the education they received and the opportunities that they were given right here at Wayne State University School of Medicine was the catapult to all of those successes. Their continued success, as well as our future success, will not be without struggle. However, if Wayne State School of Medicine were an easy medical school, it would have made much less of a lasting impression on us. So why would we have it any other way? To switch gears a little bit, I think the biggest thing that I'm going to miss the most about these past 4 years, and also all these people sitting in front of me, specifically the past 3 that I've been in the position to see a lot of people and be in a lot of different activities, is being able to see all of you guys accomplish all your goals and all your dreams. Seeing people start and lead student organizations that they are very passionate about. Hearing stories of students advocating for their patients, both young and old, saving their lives despite all existing hierarchies that were in place. Students presenting research all over the country that was done right here at Wayne State University School of Medicine. Feeling that palpable excitement as people open their envelopes on match day and matched into specialties that were only a dream just a few months ago. Growing up seemingly overnight when real lives are now in our treatment realm. These things aren't things that we learned in a book, things that we got in the 30-some-odd course packs that we received, but they're things that we'll carry with us the rest of our careers. Remember when we used to tell people, specifically parents, I want to be a doctor. Some of us knew early on, while other of us pursued other careers and then came back to medicine. And then 15 years later, when people still ask you, are you a doctor yet? You said, I'm still working on it. Well, that time is now. But one question still remains. What is next? We have achieved what we have dreamt about for years. If I did have any advice, it would be to stay passionate, stay hungry, stay curious, because we thrive not when we have finished everything, but when there is still more to do. So I have one more question for you, 2015. Are you ready to be the best? A sincere thank you goes out to all the significant others, the parents, the brothers, the sisters, everyone else who I'm not naming, who's been along with us on this journey the entire way. Thank you for the memories, 2015. congratulations, and I will sincerely miss all of you. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Interim Dean Sobel and Dr. Mary Jean Schenk, Vice Dean of Medical Education, who will administer the oath to our class. A copy of the oath can be found in your diploma holder, as well as in the commencement booklet. Thank you.
It is truly an honor to be here with you to recite this oath. Will the class of 2015 please stand and repeat each phrase of the professional oath of the class? I also invite all physicians present to rise and join the newest members of our honored profession in speaking the oath. Everybody ready? I do solemnly swear by all that I hold most sacred
I do solemnly swear by all that I hold most sacred
that according to my ability and judgment, I will in every particular keep this my oath and covenant. I pledge to dedicate myself to the service of humanity and to honor the noble traditions of the medical profession. To hold those who have taught me this art as equal to my parents. And to live my life in partnership with them. To give to my teachers the respect and gratitude which is their due. To regard my colleagues equally within my brethren. And to teach this art by precept, by lecture, and by every other mode of instruction. To those who practice the healing arts. As a physician, I will maintain the ultimate dignity of life while guiding its arrival, protecting its course, and easing its natural passage from this world.
I will offer to those who seek my aid, and not only my knowledge and skills,
I will offer to those who seek my aid not only my knowledge and skills,
but my warmth and compassion as well.
but my warmth and compassion as well.
Whatever in the lives of those I shall see or hear,
Whatever in the lives of those I shall see or hear,
either in my practice or outside of my practice,
either in my practice or outside of my practice,
which should not be made public,
which should not be made public,
this will I hold in silence,
this will I hold in silence,
believing that such things should not be spoken.
believing that such things should not be spoken.
I will conduct myself with honesty and virtue,
I will conduct myself with honesty and virtue.
with conscience and dignity will I live my life and practice my art.
With conscience and dignity will I live my life and practice my art.
In all circumstances,
In all circumstances,
I will consider every individual as equal,
I will consider every individual as equal,
without regard to race, creed, or gender,
without regard to race, creed, or gender,
refusing no one my help.
refusing no one my help.
I will abstain from every act of injustice and corruption.
I will abstain from every act of injustice and corruption.
Above all else, I will do no harm, primum non nocere.
Above all else, I will do no harm, crimen non nocere.
I freely take this oath
I freely take this oath
and will maintain the noble traditions of my profession,
and will maintain the noble traditions of my profession,
always tempering my science
always tempering my science
with the warmth and humility of the true physician. You may switch the tassels from the right side of your mortarboards to the left. Congratulations, doctors. Applause and be seated.
Before concluding the program, I would like to personally congratulate you all on this amazing accomplishment. I'd like to thank the faculty and staff for working behind the scenes to make this a happy occasion for you. It was a pleasure having you here as our guests at this very important event, an event called Commencement, the beginning. Congratulations, everyone.